In this video, I want to talk about a word problem involving the maximum or minimum of a quadratic function. So it says the cost C in dollars of manufacturing X jeans is given by the equation C of X is equal to 2x squared minus 500x plus 34,000. What is the minimum cost? How many jeans must be produced to minimize the cost? And what is the cost per jean at the minimum? Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So we know that in a quadratic function, the minimum happens at the vertex. So we need to figure out where the vertex is. Let's remember that the x-coordinate of the vertex is negative b over 2a. So x equals negative 500, so 500 over 2 times 2. So 500 over 4 is 125. So that's the x-coordinate of the vertex, but that's not the minimum cost, right? The cost is the y value, so we need to figure out what the cost is. So C of 125 is 2 times 125 squared minus 500 times 125 plus 34,000. And that should work out to 125 squared. Let's see. Okay, so 125 squared times 2. And then we're going to subtract 500 times 125. And then we're going to add 34,000. Okay, so that's 2,750. So this should work out to be 2,750. That's the minimum cost. And then it says how many jeans must be produced to minimize the cost. Well, that was our x value, right? It's x jeans. So the x value here is 125. So x equals 125 jeans. And this minimum cost is, I'm just going to erase for a second to have more room to write that. That's in dollars. Let's just make sure we write that in dollars. So the minimum cost is $2,750. Okay, now let's see if we can. Then it says, what is the cost per gene at the minimum? So for each gene at the minimum, we need to do 2,750 divided by 125. So divide that by 125, and we get $22. So each gene is costing $22 when we're at our lowest production point. So this is an upward facing parabola, so that lowest point is the place where it's the cheapest to manufacture the jeans. In this case, it's 125 jeans are the cheapest amount to manufacture, and they're $22 each for a total of $2,750, which is the minimum cost. And that's how we do a word problem involving the maximum or minimum of a quadratic function. The most important thing to remember is that the maximum or the minimum happens at the vertex. So if you find the vertex, you should find your answer.